One, put it there. Take it to the other room.
No. Mela should like.
I'll give it to mommy. I'll give it to mommy.
No.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Sure, you're having a great time. Happy New Month to you all. Happy New Month. If you can hear me loud and clear, please drop a comment in the comment section. Drop a comment if you can hear me loud and clear. Drop a comment. Good morning. How are you doing today? Can you hear me? Do drop a comment. How are you doing today? How has been trading this week? How has it been? Have you executed any trade this week? I'd like to know what pairs you've traded this week. Let me know in the comment section. What pairs have you traded this week? And I hope it's been profitable. If you can hear me, do drop a comment if you can hear me loud and clear. Also confirm you can see my screen. Confirm you can see my screen. You can hear me loud and clear. Of April, and a major news has been released. I think no, major news will be released later. Okay, Australian dollar released cash rate 3:30 a.m. Nigerian time, and you can see the forecast is the same as the actual. There was no increase and there was no decrease. You can see also the previous one is the same value. You can see the previous and the forecast and actual is the same value. So the actual came out as same as the forecast. Okay, and immediately the news got released. I think the news was positive for Australian dollar. Okay, I think the news was positive on Australian dollar. Let's look at Australian dollar USD. So you can see immediately the news got released. The time the news got should be around 2 a.m. Yeah, 2 a.m. Nigerian time. This was when the candlestick formed. Good morning, Mr. Raphael. This was when the candlestick for the for Australian dollar. I think it was positive for Australian dollar, and you can see the pattern we have here on Australian dollar USD based on what we have on 4-hour time frame. I think Australian dollar USD is bullish at the moment. Australian dollar USD is bullish at the moment. After the close of yesterday candle. After the close of yesterday candle, let's see the pattern we had on 4-hour time frame. You can see the pattern we had on 4-hour time frame. We had an hammer here. Can you see that? We had an hammer. Next candlestick also closed bullish. And you can see a resistance was created here. You can see this resistance that was created. Now the market has broken and it is currently trading above of this candle. That tells me the demand is higher than supply, meaning Australian dollar USD is bullish at the moment. Australian dollar because yesterday candle close on 4-hour time frame. We had an hammer, created a resistance here, and on the first candlestick for the day is trading above this minor resistance that was created here, and also it is trading above the high of this bearish candlestick that formed before this hammer, before this retracement or change in trend. Okay, so it is bullish at the moment, and you can see it has created a resistance, a confirmation to buy Australian dollar USD. So my bias on Australian dollar USD for today's market is bullish. My bias for Australian dollar USD for today's market is bullish. If there's any pair you want us to look at, drop it in the comment section. If there's any pair you want us to look at, drop it in the comment section. Let's also see DXY. What's happening on DXY? Like I shared with you guys yesterday, I'm expecting USD DXY to be bearish today. You can see what we had. This is 1 hour time frame. Let's start with the daily time frame. So you can see yesterday candle. This was yesterday candle. It closed as a spinning bottom. It closed as a spinning bottom, and after the close of that spinning bottom, let's see what we had on 4-hour time frame. Let's see what we had on 4-hour time frame. So you can see what we had on 4-hour time frame. And I told you guys, based on what I have on 4-hour time frame, DXY is likely going to be bearish today. Okay, and I said for me to buy DXY, price needs to break out from the resistance area. As you can see, the market is still trading below the resistance that was created. I said I was going to consider buying, going bullish on DXY if price breaks out from this resistance, and you can see the market is still trading below this resistance. You see the pattern we had here, spinning top. That's a bearish reversal pattern. And like I told you on Sunday when we met for the weekly outlook session, I said DXY is likely going to come fill this fair value gap that it has not achieved. You can see this fair value gap here. So it's likely it's going to come fill this fair value gap. It is likely it is going to come fill this fair value gap. And we have an area of liquidity here. This relative equal low is an area of liquidity. So it's likely going to come for these lows. Then after clearing these lows, it's going for this fair value gap. Okay, so based on what we have on 4-hour time frame, DXY is bearish at the moment. The dollar is weak at the moment. Okay, it is weak. So if you want to buy dollar, if you want to go bullish on DXY, you should wait for price to test this level. Okay, wait for price to test this level, clear the liquidity residing at this previous low. And if the 4-hour candle successfully breaks out from that level, then it's likely they will come fill this fair value gap before going bullish. I hope that is clear. If there's any pair you want us to look at, please drop it in the comment section. I want to believe you all can hear me loud and clear. Okay, so that's my take on DXY. So let's go to now. Today, we are also expecting major news from the United States by 2 p.m. I hope it's correct. 2 p.m. Let me refresh this. 9:13. Okay, 9:13. So this should be by I think 3 p.m. We are 1 hour ahead of UK at the moment. So 2 p.m. that means we'll be around 1, I think. Am I correct? Okay. It's 10:13 at the moment, and this should be around maybe 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Nigerian time. Okay, so ISM manufacturing PMI and JOLTS job open. As you can see, these are high impact news. These are high impact news. The previous for ISM manufacturing was 50.3, and their expectation, their forecast is 49.5. So they are expecting a decrease, okay, for ISM manufacturing PMI. Then for JOLTS job opening, the previous was 7.74, and the forecast is 7.69. So that should be a decrease from 7.74 to 7.69. That should be a decrease. Okay, so wait for the actual to be released. For those of you trading USD pairs, you should consider this. You may want to wait for this news to be released before you execute your trade. And if you are executing your trade based on technical setup before the news is released, ensure that you are conservative. Okay, don't over leverage if you want to execute your trade before the news. Okay, but most times it's best you wait for the news to be released before you go all in. Okay, so that is it for the dollar. So let's look at Mr. Emmanuel. Good morning. Let's go see GBP USD. Let's start with the daily. So as we can see on the charts, DXY, GBP USD has been, you can see it has been in a range. You can see it has been in a range. It has been in a range. Now let's go down to 4 hour. Let's see how the last candle closed on 4 hour yesterday. Okay, so you can see 4 hour time frame. This was the last candle on 4 hour time frame. Okay, and you can see price pulled back yesterday to test. I think it has filled this fair value gap, and there's a strong rejection from this fair value gap. After price filled this fair value gap, you can see the rejection, okay, from this fair value gap. This tells me GU is bullish at the moment. This tells me bullish. GU is bullish at the moment. You can see what played out this morning after the close of yesterday candle. Can you see what played out? Probably a fair value gap was created here, and price had to come and fill it this morning. Let's confirm that. Let's see on 1 hour if a fair value gap was created on 1 hour. No fair value gap on 1 hour. Let's see 15 minutes. There's a reason for the pullback, that bearish pullback. Okay, so you can see. Can you see the pullback? The reason for the pullback, can you see it? This was the fair value gap that was created on 15 minutes time frame. You can see price filled this fair value gap. You can see around it should be around 8:45 Nigerian time, 8:45 a.m. Nigerian time, and this would have been the best time to take a buy trade after the formation of this bullish candle. That would have been the right time to buy. If you go down to lower time frames like 5 minutes, 1 minute, I'm sure you will be able to identify a bullish reversal pattern on the lower time frame. Just to confirm, okay, just to confirm, let's see 5 minutes. Let's see the pattern we had on 5 minutes. So you can see the patterns we had here on 5 minutes. These are bullish reversal patterns. Okay, these are bullish reversal patterns. Let's confirm 1 minute. You see it clearly on 1 minute. You can see on 1 minute. You can see the pattern here. This is a bullish reversal pattern. Hammer, then the next candle close bullish. It's a bullish reversal pattern, as you can see. So this would have been the right time to buy after the close of this 15-minute candle. So if you had bought GU from this point, your stop loss, let's say you use let's say 15 pips, few pips below this, so let's say 15 pips, and you go for let's say 25 pips or 30 pips. By now you should be in profit of say 28 pips. By now you should have adjusted your stop loss to break even. You can see now price has filled. You can see on 15 minutes. You can see the reason for the rejection right now, the reason for this retracement. Can you see this fair value gap that was created here? Can you see this fair value gap? This is the reason for this retracement. You can see price filled this fair value gap that was created on 15 minutes, and you can see there's a rejection from that zone. You can see, and price is likely going to come back. You can see it's created a fair value gap here also. It's likely going to pull back to fill this fair value gap before going bullish. Okay, so if you're considering buying, you could wait for price to pull back to fill this fair value gap before going bullish on GBP USD. My bias on GBP USD remains bullish. Okay, like I said, this would have been a good entry for buy. If you had bought from this point, you would have made close to 25 pips on GBP USD. And right now, the market is trading far above this level. So it's best to wait for price to pull back before you take a buy trade. If you decide to buy from the current market price, your stop loss, you're supposed to set your stop loss at the low of this candle. That's about 30 pips. 30 pips, okay? But if you wait for price to pull back, as you know, it's probability. There's no guarantee that price would pull back, right? There's no guarantee. Price can just keep going up from the current market price, okay? But if you wait for price to pull back, let's say to this zone, which is a discount area, your risk will be less. You'll be risking less than 20 pips, maybe 15 pips on the trade, and you could aim for 30 pips, which will be 1:2 risk reward. Okay, so that's my take. Patiently wait, and as you know, we have a major news that will be released by I think 3 p.m. Nigerian time. Between now and that time, it's likely price will just be ranging between now and 3 p.m. Nigerian time. Price might just be ranging. Okay, so you could just patiently wait. Since you have missed this first move, patiently wait for a pullback before you buy GBP USD. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. So that's my take on GBP USD. Okay, Mr. Raphael says USD CHF. Mr. Emmanuel says UJ. Okay, we'll look at that in a few minutes. Mr. Wale, good morning. Thanks for joining. Okay, so please give the video a thumbs up so that others can get to join this class. They can get to see this video and join the class. Okay, give it a thumbs up, and if this is your first time participating, please subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live or I drop a video, you get notified by YouTube. Okay, let's move on. Let's see Euro USD. GBP USD is bullish, then we should expect Euro USD also to be bullish. Both pairs are positively correlated. By that, I mean 70 to 80% of the time, these pairs, they move in the same direction. Okay, they move in the same direction. That's why we say they are positively correlated. As you can see, the dollar on the Euro USD is the counter or quote currency, and also on GBP USD, it is the counter and quote currency. Okay, so on GU, let's start with the daily. Same pattern we saw on, as you can see, the pattern we have on daily yesterday candle is similar to what we had we have on GBP USD. Okay, so it's a spinning top indicating change in trend from bullish to bearish. So far, the market is still trading above. You can see what we had here last night. This is an AMA. Okay, though not a valid AMA. A valid AMA is not supposed to have a wick above it, but these days it's very difficult to find a candle without a wick above it or below it. So we can actually say, you can see that the wick below, in as much the wick below is 2 times the body and it does not equal the wick above it, we can call this an AMA. And this AMA candle was used to fill this fair value gap that was created here on 4-hour time. You can see that. And after the fair value gap got filled, rejection from there, you can see also this morning we've tested this fair value gap. I think a fair value gap was created after this AMA. A fair value gap was created after this AMA, and I think that was the reason price had to pull back this morning to fill the fair value gap that was created. Let's see 15 minutes. Okay, so 15 minutes, you can see we had a fair value gap here, and that could be the reason for the pullback, this fair value gap. Can you see this fair value gap? That could be the reason for this bearish move. You can see, and price filled that fair value gap, and at the moment the market is trading above the fair value gap, which indicates there's more demand than supply. There's more demand, so one would have bought maybe from this point. So that would have been a good entry after this candlestick close above the resistance that was created here. So you would have bought, use 15 minutes, 15 pips, sorry, 15 pips as your stop loss, aim for, let's say, 30 pips. 30 pips, did 18 pips, and it's retracing at the moment. You can see also a fair value gap was created here. You can see the fair value gap that was created here on 15 minutes. Can you see the fair value gap? That is the reason for the current retracement. So if you want to join this trade, if you want to join this trend, you could wait for a 15 minutes candle to close above this resistance. You could wait for price to close. In as much price is still trading below this zone, this area, it is likely going to pull back to fill or pull back to a discount area before going bullish. So it's either it pulls back to a discount area for you to buy, or there's a breakout from the resistance. Wait for a 15 minutes, 1 hour, or 4-hour candle to close above this resistance before you buy Euro USD. So my bias for today's market on Euro USD is bullish. It is bullish. Okay, that's my take on Euro USD. My bias is bullish. I'm looking for buys opportunity, buy setups on Euro USD. Okay, So someone said we should look at on USD CHF. USD CHF. My buyers on USD CHF. Let's see. I think USD CHF has been bearish so far this week. Yeah, it's been bearish. USD CHF has been bearish since the market opened. Okay, so let's see. You can see USD CHF has been in the range for some time. It's been trading between resistance and support. It's been within a range for some time. Resistance and support, resistance and support. So I think it's aiming for the next support area or this fair value gap here. Okay, this will be its first target. This fair value gap that was created will be its first target. Okay, that will be its first target. And also we still have a fair value gap here that has not been filled completely. So it's likely going to come for that also. This fair value gap here has not been filled. So it's likely going to come fill this gap. I think that's where USD CHF is aiming for. Okay, so the best entry would have been this. After the close of this shooting star, that would have been the right time to sell. This is what we had on 4 hour. I think this was the last candle for yesterday market. Yeah, that would have been a good entry. Let's go down to 1 hour. So we had this on 1 hour yesterday. You can see we had a shooting star on 1 hour, and also price broke out from the support that was created here. You can see. So this would have been a good entry. The close of this candle below this support that was created would have been a good entry for USD CHF. If you had missed this move, if you had missed this opportunity, you had another opportunity this morning. It would have been the same entry price with someone who entered the trade at this point, right? This is where you would have entered after this pullback. Okay, after this pullback, that would have been the right time to take a sell on USD CHF. So based on the pattern we have on the 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes time frame, I think USD CHF is bearish at the moment. Technically, it is bearish. Remember, we have a major news that will be released by 3. That could also influence USD CHF price action. Don't forget that. But technically, based on price action, based on the patterns on the chart right now, USD CHF is bearish. USD CHF is bearish. So you might want to wait for price to pull back. Okay, you might want to wait for price to pull back to join the trend, because at the moment I think it has done from this point is about 16 pips. 16 pips. So you could wait for price to pull back, okay, before you sell. That's my take. You decide to jump in from the current market price. If this is the first target, this is about 20, let's say 24 pips or 25 pips, and your stop loss will be at this level. Your stop loss will be at this level, so you'll be risking 25 pips for 23 pips. That's a very poor risk reward. It's a very poor risk reward. So it's best to wait for price to pull back. Okay, at least 50% of this bearish move, 50% retracement before you consider selling. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Okay, before placing a sell, if you want to wait for Mr. Wale, you want to wait for a candle to form at a resistance. Which of the resistance are you referring to? Which of the resistance? We have a resistance here. We have a resistance here. Which of the resistance? Okay. So you patiently wait for that. Just wait for price to retrace, like I said. Wait for price to retrace before you take a sell on USD CHF. Okay. So let's look at GJ. Where is GJ? GJ. Okay. I think GJ is bullish at the moment. GJ is bullish at the moment. Okay, yesterday candle closed as an armor, a bearish armor. Okay, so if today's candle closes bullish, that will be a very strong confirmation for bullish JPY. If today's candle closes bullish, that will be a strong confirmation for bullish GJ. Okay, so let's see what we had on 4 hour after the close of yesterday candle. This is what we had on 4 hour. Okay, it's a bullish reversal pattern on 4 hour time frame, and I think yesterday the market closed above the high of this bearish candle. You can see it goes above the high of this bearish candle, and so far today it's sold, and probably it's sold to fill a fair value gap that was created on a lower time frame. Let's confirm that this pullback, this sell, it could be to fill a gap that was created on lower time frame. Let's just confirm. Let's confirm that. Let's go to 1 hour. So this is what we had on 1 hour. Let's go down to 15 minutes. I think it created a fair value gap. So this is what we had on 15 minutes. Let's go down to 5 minutes. I think a fair value gap was created. Let's confirm that. So you can see on 15 minutes, here's the fair value gap. 5 minutes. Okay, let's go down to 1 minute. Let's go down to 1 minute. I'm sure a fair value gap was created, and that's the reason for that pullback. Let's just confirm. Sure, a fair value gap was created. That was the reason for the pullback. That fair value gap needs to be filled. Okay, so this is we had a fair value. I think this was a fair value gap. Okay. Let's go back to 1 hour. So you can see, I think that's the reason for the pullback. Price had to pull back to fill that fair value gap. Okay, so and you can see the previous 1 hour, the previous 1 hour, you can see was bullish, strongly bullish, strongly bullish. You can see strongly bullish. Can you see that? So based on this, I think GJ is bullish at the moment. GJ is bullish at the moment, and I see GJ coming to this area. I see GJ coming to this area. We have a tiny fair value gap here. Let's see it on 4 hour. So you can see the fair value gap on 4 hour time frame. So I expect GJ to come fill this fair value gap, okay, before going bearish. Its first target will be these highs. All these highs are areas of liquidity. There are a lot of stop losses, a lot of sell stop, buy stop orders residing at this high. Okay, so they are coming for, this is the target. If you are buying GJ, this should be your first target. This should be your first target. I took a trade earlier on GJ after the formation of this 1 hour. I took a buy trade. Okay, so I'm getting profits now, close to 10, 15 pips on profit on GJ at the moment. Okay, so this would have been the best entry which I took. Okay, if you want to join, you can still join the trade. You can still join the trade if you are buying from the current market price. Your stop loss should be about 60 pips. It has to be below this fair value gap. Okay, it has to be below this fair value gap. So it should be about, let's say, 50 pips. 50 pips, and you aim for, let's say, your target should be at least 75 pips. So your ticket should be around this area. I hope that is clear. So that's my take on GJ. I am bullish on GJ at the moment. I am buying GJ at the moment. Okay, like I told you guys, when a major news is expected from the US, I told you I'm going to avoid US dollar pairs until maybe FOMC. So is the FOMC? NFP? NFP will release on Friday. So if I see a good setup after FOMC release, NFP release, then maybe I could just take a little risk on USD pairs. But at the moment, my focus is on GJ and Euro Australian dollar. Euro Australian dollar. Let's see Euro Australian dollar. Okay, so Euro Australian dollar, my bias is still bearish. My bias on Euro Australian dollar is still bearish. Still bearish. I think yesterday closed as a shooting star. Okay, but I think it was on 4 hour we had that pattern. After the close of yesterday candle, let's go down to 4 hour. So you can see what we had on 4 hour. This is a bearish reversal pattern. I said I would like to see price close below the low of this candle. So you can see, I think the first 4 hour candle for the day. I think this was the first 4 hour. Okay, the second 4 hour candle closed below the low of this candle. Can you see that? So I think what the first thing they did was to come and clear stop losses residing at this high. I think that was the first thing they did this morning. The SL, the stop losses residing at this high. Okay, so I think that was what they did this morning. They came to clear all the stop losses here. If you go back here also, we had an high here. So I think what they did was to clear the liquidity before going bearish. Can you see that? You can see a support was created here. A little support was created here yesterday, and there's a breakout from that support. That should tell you that there is more supply than demand. There is more supply than demand. So I was expecting price to, I think it created a fair value gap. This breakout created a fair value gap. Let's say on 1 hour. Okay, 15 minutes. I think a fair value gap was created. You can see this fair value gap. This fair value gap that was created after the breakout. So as you can see, this morning you can see that gap has been filled. So with this, I think USD Euro also is set for sell. You can see this gap has been filled this morning. This gap that was created here. And if you go back here also, you can see we had a support which became a resistance at this point. We also had a support which became a resistance at this point. And also you can see we have support here also, which became a resistance. You can see that. So I think Euro Aussie is set for sell. I think Euro Aussie is set for sell. Okay, so that's my take. My bias for Euro Aussie is bearish for today's market. It is bearish. It is bearish. It is bearish. Yeah, patience is very key. If you are not patient, you'll not make money in trading. If you are not patient, you have to wait for the right time. You have to wait for the right setup before you execute the trade. Trading requires a lot of patience. This requires a lot of patience. Okay, so let's look at UJ. Let's look at UJ. Let's see UJ. I want to believe you all can hear me. If you can hear me, please drop a comment. Can you still hear me? Drop a comment if you can hear me. Drop a comment if you can hear me. If you are here to give this stream a thumbs up, please give it a thumbs up so that others can get to see this video. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you still here? Okay, so UJ, let's start with the daily time frame. UJ. Okay, so daily, yesterday candle closed bullish. Yesterday candle closed bullish, but if we look at yesterday was Monday, last Friday we had an engulfing pattern. Okay, this was an engulfing pattern on UJ, and I think it's trading below this support that was created here. You can see. So the market is currently trading below this support. That tells me UJ at the moment is bearish at the moment. You can also see on UJ, yesterday candle was used to fill a fair value gap that was created at this point. The fair value gap was created at this point, and price through that gap. We had an RMI here, which indicates change from bullish to bearish, or from bearish to bullish. Sorry, from bearish to bullish. So this is what we had yesterday. We had an engulfing pattern here. You can also see we had what's it called? A spinning bottom here, and this candle engulfed this candle. So this is a bullish reversal pattern on UJ. This is a bullish reversal pattern on UJ. So I'd like to see UJ fill this fair value gap. Okay, if UJ fills this fair value gap, then I think that would be the right time to take a sell on UJ. Okay, that would be the right time to take a sell on UJ. UJ should fill this fair value gap. That's my expectation. Okay, that's my expectation on UJ. I want to see UJ fill this fair value gap before going bearish on it. So at the moment, as you can see, the previous 4-hour candle closed as inverted hammer. inverted hammer, which indicates change in trend from bearish to bullish. So I expect UJ to come fill this fair value gap. So if I'm to take any trade on UJ right now, it will be a buy. Okay, it will be a buy. If I'm to take any trade on UJ right now, it will be a buy. Can you also hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, I'd like to know in the comment section. So that's my take on UJ. The best risk to take on UJ right now would be a buy. Okay, it will be a buy. You can see the previous 1 hour candle closed as an hammer. It closed as an hammer. So that's my take on UJ. Look for buys on UJ. Look for buys on UJ. Look for buys on UJ. So UJ has created a resistance here. So if 15 minutes candle closes above this resistance, I think UJ is set for buy. If 15 minutes closes above this resistance that was created on UJ, that would be the right time to take a buy trade on UJ. You can see I think price pulled back to fill this fair value gap that was created here. Price pulled back to fill this fair value gap and also to clear the liquidity residing at this previous low. That was what has played out so far today. Price pulled back to clear the liquidity, fill this fair value gap, and also clear the liquidity residing at this previous low. You can see the candlestick pattern that formed after the liquidity and the fair value gap got filled. We had an hammer candle formed, and I think this bearish move was to fill a fair value gap that was created after the formation of this hammer. Okay, I think let's see 5 minutes. Okay, let's see 1 minute. Most likely a fair value gap was created. The price had to pull back to fill. Okay, so you can see here you can see the fair value gap that was created here. You can see it. Okay, so that was the reason for the pullback. You can see it filled it completely, and after price filled it, see what played out. Price went bullish from that zone. So you can see. So this would have been a good entry. Buy from this point. TP. So you can use 20 to 30 pips as your TP. Can you see that? So that's my take on UJ. Is there any other instrument you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. I hope you all can hear me. I hope you all can hear me. Is there any other instrument you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. If there's any other instrument you want us to look at, let me know in the comment section. Okay. Now let's look at gold before we end today's session. Let's look at gold. Gold is still bullish, but I think gold will retrace a little. Okay, let's see. I think let's see gold. Let's start with the daily. Daily is still bullish. Yesterday candle closed bullish, and so far today gold has been bullish on the daily time frame. Gold has been bullish on the daily time frame from the opening to this high. That's about close to 300 pips, 280 pips. Gold has done 280 pips this morning from the opening of today's candle to the high. It has done over 250 pips. Let's go to 4 hour. So the previous 4 hour candle closed as a shooting star. It closed as a shooting star, which indicates change in trend from bullish to bearish. But don't just jump in and start selling. As you can see, let's go down to 1 hour. Let's see 1 hour. After the formation of that shooting star, we had this low here. Okay, we had this low, and the previous 1 hour candle closed below the low of this candle, which indicates change in trend. You can see the pattern we had here. This is a bearish reversal pattern, but I want you to see this pullback we saw here. This retracement could just be to fill this fair value gap. So many retail traders would have jumped in to sell after the formation of this bearish pattern. Yeah, if you had sold after the formation of this bearish pattern, You probably could have made some profits. That if you set your stop loss few pips above the high of this candle, you would have made some profits. Let's say you would have taken a risk of, let's say, 50 pips. If you had sold from this point, if you had entered sell from this point, your stop loss, let's say you use 50 pips as your stop loss, and you aim for, let's say, 80 pips, you would have made close to 100. But if you went for 80 pips, you definitely would have taken profits out of this trade, right? You would have taken profit out of this trade. Your TP would have hit, and you can see. So you can see this pullback here would just be to fill this fair value gap. They have filled this fair value gap. So if 1 hour candle closes above this level, it's likely gold will continue with its bullish move. It is likely gold will continue with its bullish move if 1 hour candle closes above the low of this candle. Are you getting me? As you can see, it has created a resistance here. So if 1 hour candle closes above the low of this candle and this resistance, then we should expect more bullish ride on gold. If gold 1 hour candle closes above this zone, technically gold should buy. Technically, gold should buy if 1 hour candle closes above this zone. This is the zone that is holding price at the moment. This is the resistance or the supply area that is holding price. So if demand increases and it breaks out from this zone, we should expect more bullish move on gold. We should expect more bullish move on gold. I hope that is clear. Any question? Any question? Any question? Do you have any question? Let me know in the comment section. As you can see, it has created a fair value gap here. They might want to use the fundamentals to come and fill this fair value gap. This fair value gap has not been filled completely. They might want to use the fundamentals to come fill this fair value gap before going bullish. So if you're buying after the breakout from the resistance, if you're buying from the breakout from the resistance, your stop loss should be at this level. It has to be below this fair value gap that has not been filled, because they are most likely going to come fill this fair value gap. So you don't want to set your stop loss in between this zone. It has to be below this zone. Are you getting it? To be on the safer side, it has to be below this fair value gap. You cannot set your stop loss in between. If you do, your stop loss might be used as liquidity. Your stop loss might be used as liquidity. I hope that is clear. Any question? Any question? If there are no questions, we'd have to end this session. I appreciate every one of you for your participation. If you're here to like the stream, please give it a thumbs up. If you're here to subscribe to the channel, do subscribe to the channel so that you can always get notification from YouTube each time I come online or I drop a video. Okay, you don't want to miss any of the content that I'll be dropping later on. So please do subscribe. So that'll be all for this session. If there are no questions, I wish you all a profitable trading day. We just entered into a new month, and I want to believe that this month will be more glorious than the former month. Our achievements this month will be far better than what we achieved in the previous months put together. That is my prayer for every one of you. Just ensure that you apply good risk and money management. Do not over leverage. Okay, stick to your trading plan. Okay, stick to your trading plan. Prayer would only work if you're disciplined. Okay, if you're disciplined, that's when prayers will work. If you're not disciplined, prayer won't work. It won't work. You have to be disciplined. You have to stick to your trading plan. And like I said, you should treat trading as a business. Don't treat it as a game. If it's a business, it means you have to show up every day. You have to show up every day. Not train up today, tomorrow. You are no longer trading the market. You've diversified into another business. You have to show up every day. That's what it means to treat trading as a business. Whether you make profit or loss, you show up every day. It's just like if you have a store, you can't just close your store for months. You will lose customers. You will lose customers. In trading, if you don't look at the charts on a daily basis, you will lose interest. Your zeal for trading will decrease. Are you getting me? You won't have much interest. Your passion for the market would decrease. And before you know it, you're out of the business. So you have to keep showing up every day. I show up every day. I show up every day. Okay. So guys, do have a great day. Bye for now.